All right, good evening, everyone. Can everybody hear me? I'm very sure everybody can hear me now. And if you can't hear me, then it's your network. I'm very sure everybody can hear me now. Good evening, everybody. Can everybody hear me? Finally, yes. Finally, my network has gone to all the places that it has gone to, but it has shall come back. Good evening, everybody. I'm happy that everybody is still here, which is kind of incredible, to be very honest, how everybody is still here. Thank God today is our last class, so we kind of don't have like a lot to cover. I used Tuesday and Monday to cover a lot. So we're going to breeze through this class and then just straight shooting on. How is everybody doing? So let me quickly just get with the introductions. God, my network has embarrassed me today. I'm not going to say which network I'm using, but embarrassed me today. My God will fight for me. My God will fight for me. My God will honestly fight for me. Let's just get straight into class and let's just move quickly. Let's just move quickly. All right, you guys already know my name. You guys know what we're doing. Like I said, we're doing this week blog and article writing. If you people know anybody with your friends, yeah, start messaging your friends now and tell them to join the class. Tell everybody to join the class. How is our friend? What was her name? Eli. I forgot her first name, but I hope she's doing better, Sha. Okay, good. How are you feeling? I hope you're doing better. My network has returned. Let's get straight into class. So today's class, we are going to talk about tips for blogging tools, tips to use for blogging tools, long form content creation. Then, if the network permits, I'll show you guys how I use one tool that I enjoy using for SEO. So I'll show you guys the tool. It's a premium tool, so you have to pay for it, but I will show you which which is which and how best to use it. So let us get started. Now that everybody can hear me, everybody can see. Well, not see me, but everybody can hear me. Sha. Let's quickly move into it. So this week we're talking about blog and article writing, and we're going to start with tips to use for blogging tools. Tips to use for blogging tools. Okay, so the first tip we're going to talk about is write targeted content with Google Keyword Planner. Now, who would you contact for advice about SEO if not Google itself? Remember what I said. SEO is the father, SEO is the son, Google is the father. You must go through the son to meet the father. Abi? Okay. So Google's own keyword planner is an excellent tool for refining your keywords based on what readers are actually looking for. Something that you shouldn't guess, but rather check. So, as you prepare to write a blog post, enter your theme into the keyword planner to get a detailed review of various word combinations, their monthly search volume, and the level of existing competition. Right? I hope everybody is listening. So, with this knowledge, you can write stronger, more targeted blog posts that have the potential to rank higher on search results. Ranking higher for SEO is also a valuable first step in making money blogging and monetizing your blog. I hope everybody can get everybody's understanding, right? Because like I said, I'm moving kind of at light speed at this point. Okay. Nail those headlines with a title generator. I don't suggest this, but it's part of the tools you can use at your disposal. I think making a title is something that you should still do, but the first impression is the most important one. If you can't get your readers' attention with a captivating, intriguing headline, you've already if you can get your readers' attention with a captivating, intriguing headline, you've done half the work. But learning how to write a headline can be challenging. So if you're struggling to come up with the perfect headline, using a title maker can point you in the right direction. Enter a couple of words about the main topic, and this free tool will show you catchy blog titles and help you decide which direction you want to take your article. Okay, so One of the most important things about writing and writing, blogging, article writing is it has to be um what's the word I'll use now? It has to be the title. The title is what catches your attention, and the title is what gives you the best feedback, right? So if your title is not catchy, is not immediately grabbing their attention, then maybe you may need to work on it. The best way to know if your title is catchy, use your friends and family. Use your friends, use your family. If you're in school, bounce it off a roommate. Don't bounce it off all of your roommates so you don't disturb all of them. But do bounce it off a friend, family member, roommates. Um, what would be the best tip I would give you for generating um, a headline yourself, or a very good title yourself, would be what would be the best way what would be the best way to get somebody's attention. So instead of asking your friends, um oh, how do I get this network, how do I get this how do you guys feel about this title, you just throw the title out there, out of the blue, just come into the room and just throw the title out there, just say it, hope people listen and then hear what their reactions are going to be. That's a good way to get through with it, right? Okay. Let's continue. So, understanding blog intent with Semosh or phrase. Now, if you're a blogger and you're not using Semosh or phrase, and phrase is the one I personally use, both Semosh and phrase are two premium tools. So you may want to use the free ones first and then grow from there. But if a premium tool, there's a reason why they're called premium tools and why you pay for them, because they will give you the best information possible. So, like I said, towards the end of this class, I will show you guys how I use phrase, how it ranks for me. It's a very good tool to boost your SEO, and it will be a good way for you to understand it. So when you have a video, when you have an image and you know how it looks and how it works, then you can now work from there and say, okay, uh, I can use other tools, right? But you have to understand how to use one tool, because all of them kind of work in the same, they all kind of work in the same way. So we don't have time to go into all of the things Semush can do, but we'll focus on his role in helping you understand the intent. Understanding Understand if you should target an entity or a keyword with a blog post or another form of content easily. Then Google Analytics. I know this one is the one everybody uses. Google Analytics, and it will show you how best to use it. Take understanding the performance of your blog to the next level with Google Analytics. Now transforming into GA4. This powerful tool, that's Gemini 4. Anyway, this powerful tool can help you understand not only where blog traffic is coming from, but when and how much. It can also help you understand better any number of engagement metrics. So how readers behave on your page and how your content resonates with them. You can also use it to delve deeper into how readers move from your blog pages to other pages on your websites, and the actions they take along the way. A lot of Anybody that's just coming now, you've not missed a lot. We really did start kind of late. Um, so when you're looking at analytics, especially a lot of these tools, they are kind of still um how will I put it? They are all still kind of freemium tools. A lot of them will have free, but premium tools may still be lagging behind. So the free ones still will need you to get the most out of them free by using the premium section. So that's something you're going to have to get used to. So the best way to make the most of your premium tools or your freemium tools is to start with the free ones. Start with free tools. Start making progress there. When you start making some money, or you start working for a company that is already making use of these tools. So this is the best thing I'll say. If you're working with a company, why it's important to get used to the free tools is that when you start working with companies that are already making use of paid tools, before you even start working with them, they are going to want to check how familiar you are with this. So maybe during the interview section, they may ask you a few questions about SEO. And if you manage to scale through there and you're not still very conversant with the premium tools, it will take a while for you to, acclimatize with them. And then they'll not be like, I thought this person knew what they were doing. I thought they were like a pro, right? And you don't want anybody questioning your professionalism, except when networkers come and done what it can do. But even at that, no, these tools are not on your Play Store. Most of them are Chrome extensions. But check your Play Store. I haven't checked because I'm not going to be checking for analytics on Google for my phone. I am going to want to make sure that it's on my laptop as a Chrome extension working in the background. These things are the most important ones. Like I said, for monetization, there's a lot of other things you can do. I've already taught you guys how to crowdfund using Medium. But SEO is still the best way to get people on mass, right? All right, let's continue. Upgrade images. So now we've moved on from the tools like the Google associated and SEO tools. Now we're talking about the basic tools that help you with your images. When you need to add that special pizzazz to your blog's visuals, use photo editor to edit images. Any photo editor will be good. We are choosing, yes. So use any photo editor, but photo is a good one. It will help you enhance your images, get the right measurements, place them the right way. We're talking about the tips for using the best tools, right? So use layers to add stickers to your images and make them more engaging. This photo editor offers endless ways to beautify your visuals. So go ahead and explore. But like I said, use any photo editor. Add extra style to your images. If you are talking about selling a product, making people know that this product is something you took time to research and it's not just like the first thing you googled, is a good way to go, right? um let's quickly move to the next bit. Another thing you're going to need, InShot is a good example. Use InShot. That one now you can edit from your phone. I told you guys in the last class, I do a lot because the best thing you can do for yourself is read your articles from your phone, because you're going to be reading it the way most people are going to read it. Most people read articles from their phone. So if you're able to read it from your phone, then it will be, best case for yourself. Does everybody get what I mean? So Grammarly now, like I said, we've already moved from the SEO tools that have direct impact on your SEO. And now we're talking about tools that just improve how you rank passively. We've talked about photo editors. Now we're talking about Grammarly. Now, blogging is often a one-person operation. When you don't have an extra pair of eyes to proofread your text, it's not impossible for mistakes to happen. And let's face it, who of us hasn't had a typo or grammar error here and there? I'll tell you now. When I use Grammarly, it is always very helpful. Like I said, there are a lot of tools. I think in our first class or second week, we talked about the writing tools that you could make use of, and I said there's Grammarly, there's Quillbot, so make use of them, right? And remember what I said, when you're making use of those tools, I think it was yesterday on Tuesday, I said use multiple free tools. I still use a lot of multiple free tools at once. They cover for the lapses on each other, but that doesn't mean I don't use some paid tools as well. But when you get to a certain level where you can earn from your writing, then I suggest, putting money back into your, getting paid tools is very important. Okay, like I said, so use Grammarly. Grammarly is an online checker extension to correct your language, polish up your text in docs or emails, so that when you publish them online, they are absolutely up to standard. We're going to go on a break for like 2 minutes, in maybe another 15-10 minutes. Just a short break so that everybody can take attendance, but we're not taking attendance now. So I want to stick with Grammarly now, because not Grammarly, but just writing tools in general. There's a reason why writing tools are so important, because when Google is going through your website, when Google is going through your articles, the more grammatical errors you have, the more it shows you don't have authority in what you're writing about. And then before you know what's going on, you're not getting ranked. So no matter how much work you've done on the SEO side, how many premium tools you have that you've paid for, if you keep making basic grammatical errors, Google will be like, who is this nigger? And how the hell did he get onto the internet? Like I said, the one thing you don't want is anybody questioning your professionalism. Whether you're working for somebody, or you're working for yourself. Especially when you're working for somebody, if you are making grammatical errors, then in this day and age where there's a lot of tools available to you, they will question your professionalism. Let's even leave Google out of it. Working with somebody, if they are picking out errors in your work and they're asking you, hey, did you check this? It's not going to fly well with whoever you're working for. So that should be the first thing, safe, before you use premium tools, before you use Semush or Phrase or Google Analytics. Use Grammarly, use Quillbot. Check your grammar, rephrase your sentences, make sure that everything flows. I remember in the last class, I told you guys the sweet spot is about 200 to 300 words per paragraph, right? So inside those 200, 300 words, every paragraph you need to check. I know there are a few people that don't know how to write with their AI tools working in the background, and there are a few people that know how to do it. I personally write along with my AI tools, my Grammarly, working while I am working. Grammarly can be downloaded. Quillbot can be downloaded. They're Chrome extensions. Actually, that's another thing we should look at. We're going to look at, again, at the end of this class, looking at Phrase, and then I'm going to show you guys how to add Chrome extension, because it's not everybody that knows how to do that. Because a good number of the writing tools that you use, the SEO tools that you use, they are Chrome extensions. So we'll go over that at the end of this class. What is next? Now, there are a few blogging tools you can use to measure your performance. There's a wide variety, so you guys need to get conversant with which tool is which, and then which one is best suited for what job. Measure your blog's performance with Google Search Console. So it's not enough to just check your analytics on your blog page, your Medium page, your Substack, your WordPress. Those stats will only tell you the basic information, who came and read. When you use Google Console, it will tell you who came and read, where they searched you from, which country they came from, and where and for how long they stayed on your website. So working with excellent keywords and headlines is one important step. But in order to really leverage your research and boost your post organic performance, you want to know whether the work you're done is actually making an impact. Using Google Search Console will help when improving SEO for blogging. It will allow you to study which keywords are bringing in the most readers. This is just a fraction of the knowledge Google can provide you with. It's a treasure trove of data that you'll be able to use to create better content that attracts more curious eyes. Some of these tools will be used in the background in a company you're working for. I remember there was a company I worked for, and there was a separate team handling SEO. My job was to write it and make it SEO friendly. Then there were other teams keeping track of all of that. It's not every company that has the bandwidth or the funds to manage everybody and have separate teams for separate jobs. At times, you will be the one that is going to handle everything. Hence why I said, know your tools, know your onions, right? Know your onions. Onions are layered, right? So know your tools, know which tool works for which situation. They are all-in-one tools that will cover everything. And then there are some other tools that will cover specific things. So having a combination of tools that cover specific things, like Google Search Console or Google Analytics, and having one tool that will cover a large range of options. Tools like Phrase. I'm sticking on Phrase because that's the one I've been using the longest. So you need to know the best combination you can work with. You can't just work with everything. That's a big expense. So try free tools, figure out which one works best for you, and then find the combination that you like the most. I use Phrase, Google Console, and then Google Analytics to check my work to make sure everything is going the right way. And some of the best advice I learned actually came from working with the SEO team. So, like I said, there was a company I worked for, and they had the SEO team by themselves that would do all the SEO work. I started emailing them. I started checking. I started starting getting information from what they were doing because I wanted to learn more. So, this is a good piece of advice. Don't be an island. Work with teams. Work with people. Gather information from different sections, right? You being in class now is a good thing, but you need to work with other people so that you can get other things out of it. I hope everybody's listening now. Okay, what's next? Now, power your blog insights. We've gone through Google Analytics actually. So I know you guys went through with Trello, and Mr. Sebastian covered Trello with you guys. There's a reason why he covered Trello for you guys. Now, I know some people were complaining about the assignments, but I hope you guys did it. And if you've not done the assignment, please go back and do it. Trello is a very important tool that you use to manage your blog. Now, many people think of blogging as a hobby, but anyone experienced with running a professional blog for commercials, education, or branding purposes knows that this is a serious project that should be treated as one. Now, Trello is a project management platform that was designed to assist professional bloggers with day-to-day responsibilities, visualizing your schedule, tasks, and goals. Trello helps to streamline your workflow to improve overall productivity. It's especially great if you work in a team or collaborate with freelancers, but solo bloggers will also find this system great as well. I hope everybody understood Mr. Sebastian's class on Trello. I'm not even seeing in the comments that, because I knew you guys were complaining about Trello. I'm not seeing anybody in the comments saying they understand Trello now. There's no real time to deep dive into Trello, but that was why we segmented our classes, right? So somebody else has already done the heavy lifting on this side. Let us continue. But like I said, Trello is a very important tool. So we've come to the halfway point of our class. We've come to the halfway point of our class. Quickly breeze through some of the most important tools. We're going on a 2-minute break so that everybody can take attendance by like 8:13. So everybody can take attendance, and we're back 8:15. I hope everybody is listening now. I want to make sure that we all quickly get it. If you don't understand how to use Trello, go back and watch Mr. Sebastian's video, because there's no real time to really go down and cut into it. But it's a very unique tool. It helps you arrange and map out what content you want to post when, it's a very vast tool. It's no real time. Like I said, there's no real time to go over it again. So, like I said, go back, watch the videos, also watch more videos on Trello. So, like I said, you can as well use the app, download the app, streamline your work. So, we're going on a break in a minute so that we can take attendance quickly. All right, I think we should be back now.
So honestly,
Can everybody hear
from
me?
what I'm hearing from your VM, yes, I don't know how they're calculating it. $10, I've seen it said
Can
as for
everybody
earlier.
hear me?
I
Can
just
everybody hear me?
I just decided to join one.
Like I
And
said, take your attendance in the description. Take your attendance in the description. We need to, like I said, we're moving in at light speed at this point, but we've made good progress. And like I said, this class is kind of a
the ones I
just a good
filled
way
up,
to
I'll
quickly
send them to you.
make sure that
So
everybody knows what we're doing and how to go through with it. All right, let's move. So, we're talking about long form content creation, and this is the last bit of today's class for this week. Now, what is long form content and why does it matter? Long form content is any piece of written content that's 1,000 words in length or over 1,000 words in length. So before we move forward, I know somebody was complaining that they find it hard to write 1,000 words. The only way And I'll give you some tips and I'll give you some advice. But the only way to consistently hit 1,000 words plus is to practice. You have to put your time on the keyboard. You have to stress your fingers. You have to go through it. Are we clear? You have to go through it. You need to practice. Okay, today I hit 700. How do I go over that? Today I hit 800. How do I go over that? Today I hit 900. How do I go over that? The target has to be 1K at the very least. I'll give you some tips that make it easier, but it's still on you to hit 1K. Half of the time, I don't even get started. I don't really get started unless I hit like 1.5. When I hit 1.5, then I know, okay, then we know there's progress to be made. But like I said, 1K is where you start. There are articles that will require 700, 750, but 1K should not be hard for anybody, except the people that are newly writing. But again, it depends. If you really, really like the content you're writing, you can even reach 3K words. I think, what is the most I've done? I can't even remember the most I've done in a single day. I'm sure I think it was maybe 5K words in a whole day. But that one was just because the content required a lot from me. So the sweet spot, 1,000 to 2,000 words. The moment you start reaching 3, and I'll show you something, SEO as well, how the standard is written on a specific keyword, specific title, specific piece of content. You have to be close to it or be better slightly. If on average most content is 1.5 and you are at 800, you're not going to rank no matter how well your SEO is. And if there is content that is at maybe 1,000 words and you are writing 2,000, you've really gone above it, and you might need to curtail your writing, because SEO is such a complicated thing, and it requires a balancing act. So like I said, if you are at 1,000, if on average, and like I said, I'm only saying it now, but you guys will see it when we get into most of it. So that is not only the defining factor for long-term content. However, to be truly long-form, the content must have depth. It needs to dive deep into a topic and provide value. It should be useful and helpful to readers, giving them the information they need. Now, for SEO purposes, long-form content helps you hit 3 connected goals. The 3 goals, here they are. You rank higher in search engines. Comprehensive content outranks thin content. Usually, but not always. That's why I told you that there are cases where you need to write 700. It really depends on what the industry average is for that particular piece of content. But comprehensive content is long form. Engage leads and keep them on your site. Long form content should be chock full of interesting, valuable information targeted to a specific reader. This engages them, keeps them on the page, and keeps them on the page for longer, and improves your bounce rate. Your bounce rate is just like how long somebody stays on your page before they bounce out. But here is a good piece of advice. This is why, we still need writing heavy, deep content, right? Like I explained to you guys on Tuesday, I was on ChatGPT searching for something, and it was scanning the internet. At that moment in time, when I told it to search for this, it was on the internet and it was showing me searching. And then it brought out the references as to which article it was using. Hell, at one point, it was just quoting the article. So the way ChatGPT is now, they've shifted it. They're like, okay, if this thing is going to lie so much, we might as well allow it to search the internet, highlight and quote what it needs exactly, and tell you where it got the content from. Right? So that's the importance now. So at some point, ChatGPT is just going to be, spitting what is coming out from the internet. And if there's a bunch of lies about something on the internet, it is just going to tell more people the lies that have been shown. So you need to do your research. And we've hit that word again, research. Remember, I've always told you guys this thing. Your second name as a writer is researcher. Seth, you're a researcher first before you're a writer, because in the end, what are you going to write if you don't research it properly? Right? Building your reputation. Lengthy guides and blog posts demonstrate your expertise on a topic and a topic and your industry. Establishing trust. Publish many high quality long form posts and your authority will build on itself. This one I must again just quietly repeat. While we are saying you should write long, lengthy content because it helps with SEO, it helps your bounce rate, it helps people stay longer on your page. If you are writing nonsense, I hope everybody can hear me this one now. I want to be frank. If you are writing nonsense, the person that is reading it, and that's why they check your bounce rate. If people come onto your page and they read the first 30, they read the first 5 or 6 lines and they're like, there's nothing of use here, they are going. And if people read your articles and they're like, this is not factual, and they start writing in the comments, this is not factual, or this doesn't make any sense, Google will bounce you. They won't bounce you, they'll just be like, oh yeah, let's get this person out. So you need to make sure that on the content you are going through, you read, you do your research properly. Because like I said today, I'm hacking in on it. You don't want someone questioning your professionalism. Finally, as we move further into the age of multimedia content, don't discount alternative content types when discussing the long form format. Videos, webinars, and podcasts. I think you guys remember what I said on Tuesday. Don't cannibalize your content. Don't put all of your podcast onto your blog. Don't put all of your vlogs onto your blog. Cut sections that give more context to what you're writing and then put it there. The reason why I say don't cannibalize your content, if you are a video, if you're making vlogs, if you're making podcasts, and you put the whole thing on your blog, people might not now want to go and listen to where you get the most money for that content. So if your blog content should be a way to promote other things. Same with making a podcast, it should be a way to promote your blog, right? So if you make a podcast, 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes, put it on your blog. Don't put everything on the blog because people like convenience. If they are reading an article and they can listen to the whole blog, you won't get as much if it was on Spotify or if it was on Apple or on YouTube. Don't cannibalize your content. Make sure that all of your audiences go to where the best place for you to get monetized from is. That is one thing, and it's a mistake a few people make. They put the whole podcast or the whole video on their blog. It will only cannibalize the content, except you are embedding the link. So this is a good way to do it. You can embed the whole YouTube link to your YouTube video. So while they are watching it on your blog, it's still reading on YouTube. Am I preaching or am I not preaching? Let me know if I'm talking the right thing. I hope everybody is listening, right? Because like I said, we're moving quickly and we need to continue to discuss. So how to write long form content. Here are the 7 easy steps and examples you can use to write long form content, right? Writing long form content doesn't have to be an erroneous chore. If you look at it as a big puzzle that needs to be put together, it becomes a fun challenge. The key to writing long form content is to break it into manageable chunks, the individual puzzle pieces. So here is how you do it. Don't be lost though. If you're lost, write your questions down. In the question and answer section, I will answer you. Okay, topic point 1. Choose the right topic. One of the first things to understand about creating long form content is not all topics are suitable for this format. If you choose a topic that is wrong for a long form piece right off the bat, you're setting yourself up to struggle. You probably won't have enough to write about and may find yourself writing just to pad out the length. And that's a recipe for fluff and useless filler that nobody wants to read. To avoid these mistakes, look at your potential topic critically before writing. This one now is more about, this is why research is important, right? When you're researching, you're reading other people's content. Read other people's content. Look at how long it is. Sometimes the best way to do it might be to stitch a few other people's content together. One person's content might link to another person's content. So take the way their content is written, digest it, and join the two together and write it as one full content, right? Or make sure you understand the scenario that they're writing about. If somebody's content is 500 words long, it might be there's not much to say there. And when you're starting out, you don't want to be having 500 long, 500 word content. They will be like, okay, who is this person? How do we get him out of our, right? Don't do that. 1K, long form. Start out with long form. When you've been writing for 5 or 6 years and then something short comes along your table, you can now say, all right, let me just quickly crack this one out. I've done it before. I've done 750 before, but it was just the nature of the content was needed in that manner at that point in time. But it's not always useful. Now, the right topic for a long form content will be complex. There are a lot of different parts to explain or walk the reader through. A general explanation for a topic won't give your readers the kind of understanding they need to grasp it fully. So be specific. Can everybody hear me? Wow. Unfortunately, network has decided. I don't know what it is, oh, but we're almost done. Thank God. But the gods of network have really done. The gods of network have really frowned on us today. Okay, never mind. All right, let's just quickly get to the end of this thing so that we can finally call it a day. What is going on? Let's go. No, don't go and sleep, oh, I beg. I don't want to see you in my dreams, nor do you want to see me in your dreams. Let's finish this thing and
Go
call it
sleep
a day.
by 8:40. Won't go.
Let's quickly move. Let's quickly move. Whatever, whoever we offended, whoever in my village are offended, let the person know this. Come on. Even now, the network is, the slides are still doing what they feel like doing. What were we talking about? You can quickly remind me what we were talking about. Let me know who was listening and who was not listening. Thank God that today is Thursday and not Monday. We're almost absolutely done. Oh, yeah, oh, quickly. You can tell me what was the last thing I said. What was the last thing I said? So that we can call this class a night. And pertaining to, because of our time and all the issues with network, I am going to cover phrase and whatnot next class. Nobody will have to remind me. I'll just come and handle phrase myself. That will be the first thing we do, sir. Abi, everybody has gone to sleep. Let me know. Abi, everybody has gone to sleep. Let me know. Me too, I want to sleep. Where are my favorite students? Why is nobody there? People have refused to talk today. Or can nobody hear me? That's a good question. Can anybody hear me? It's like they swore for network today.